CEIN Q2 2025 earnings report. Camber Energy Inc. CEIN. So Camber Energy, they dropped their earnings report for Q2, and there's a lot of things happening with this company. It's another company I've been a part of since 2001, and there's been a lot of changes. There wasn't too much to really talk about in their earnings, revenue wise, numbers wise, because as I'm going to bring up with these a couple of these excerpts, the business is definitely changing in a couple ways, and I think in a positive way if James Doris, the CEO, can pull it off. So just to kind of rehash a little bit on why we don't really see a whole lot of revenue in this Q2 report. And why the stock is at 2 cents right now, which it dipped below 2 cents 2 days ago from the recording of this video. But I think it's partly because Wall Street trying to underwrite the company properly. We're still really early in the process with revenue with a couple of our branches of business. And as I'm about to talk, we don't majority own Simson-Maxwell anymore. So Viking entered a unanimous shareholders agreement USA on April 1st, 2025 with TNT and Simson-Maxwell. The USA governs the ownership and management of Simson-Maxwell and provides that TNT is entitled to nominate 2 members to Simson-Maxwell board of directors. And Viking is entitled to nominate 1 member. The USA also contains a call and put option. Under the call option, TNT has the option exercisable at any time within the first 36 months to purchase Viking, which is wholly owned by Camber, Viking's 49% ownership interest for 5.75 million, approximately Canadian, approximately 4.2 million in American. Under the put option, Viking has the option exercisable anytime after 36 months to acquire TNT to purchase Viking's ownership, 49% ownership interest for 7.75 million, approximately 5.7 million. And so I guess talking a little bit about this first, I think that's where Wall Street is trying to underwrite us right now, intangibility. Because before this report and before this agreement with TNT, we were getting the revenue on our books, right? We were getting Simpson-Maxwell's revenue on our books, which was ranging 25 million to 30 million. But with this deal now, since now we have a minority ownership, they aren't Simpson-Maxwell's revenues aren't being shown on our earnings reports anymore. So technically, we have no real revenue. What we see is now investment in Simpson-Maxwell, which did show up on the quarterly report. Let me just go down here real quick. As you'll see, investment in Simpson-Maxwell. It's 2.4 million. This is for the quarter ending in Q2, June. So that's what we're working with now. We still have investment in it, but we're only getting a portion of it. So we're only getting a little under half of revenue from quarterly revenue from Simpson-Maxwell now. The rest is going to TNT. But when we talk about from market cap valuation, I think Wall Street is kind of trying to get CEIN close to that $4 to $5 million market cap range, because really that's all we have. Intangibility is our call and put option. So if TNT wants to buy out our portion of Simpson-Maxwell today. All right, so if they buy it out today, they're paying us 4.2 million in cash, right? So that's pretty much pure on our books right now. Wall Street can look at that right now and say, okay, they have 4.2 million on their books currently in cash, even though it's technically we don't technically have it. At any point in time, that can be an option, right? Now, for the put option, say after 3 years, that actually moves up to 5.7. So Wall Street might try to find a happy medium and put us around a $5 million market cap with that call put option. That's kind of where I'm thinking right now. And now, so let's talk about some other branches. So on August 1st, 2025, Viking Energy Group, Viking, a wholly owned subsidiary of Camber, entered into a securities purchase agreement pursuant to which Viking agreed to purchase 51 units representing 51% of the ownership interest of Viking Distribution Solutions. So with the Malo Group. So essentially what they're doing is they're making a subsidiary now, Viking Distribution Solutions, for the grid detection, the wildfire detection, the open conductor detection technology. So that is a positive sign that they're getting the wheels rolling, right? And Milo is kind of like a made up, it's not a made up group, but it was a group that they made. Milo Group probably includes the inventor of the technology and any other investors, right? And so they only paid $100 to Milo Group for this transfer, which they've already had that pre-planned before. And so in regards there, that's kind of a good sign. You know, we're not going to see the open to conductor tech get rolled out for this wildfire season. The wildfire season's almost over, essentially, or halfway over. So maybe in 2026, the tech will actually be ready to be sold. We're still waiting on that. And some of the most positive news for CEIN is, as of June 30th, 2025, the company had stockholders deficit of 36 million long-term debt. Working, okay, we know that. My bad. The largest component of current liabilities created. So let me just say that the most positive thing is the preferred C shares are gone. There's no preferred seeds anymore. That is all gone. So if we look at the bottom here, look, common stock to be issued on true up prior Series C shares converted 0. Boom. It was 3 million, 0 now. Issuance of shares on true up Series C preferred stock, 0. So there's no more Series C's preferred shares, which has been a plague to the company since I've been a part of it, which is why you've seen this drop, which is why we had a reverse split. So now the company doesn't have that type of pressure on the stock price. James now has an opportunity to really work on the value of the company without getting his legs cut off every time Discover or Kirkland wants to convert shares. And there's another update I want to bring up as well that just happened recently, and it's with the carbon capture system. And so as we've been talking about the carbon capture system with ESG Clean Energy, they're bankrupt, right? So Camber Energy only owns the exclusive license in Canada and 25 locations in the US for the carbon capture technology that ESG Clean Energy has made. All right. So it's just the license. We don't actually own the company. But with that being said, this is a good sign because ESG Clean Energy has been going through bankruptcy proceedings, and I personally don't know how they were doing because they had a call on the 20th this month that I missed to see how that was going to play out, or who's going to get money, or where the assets are going to go. And so this is what happened on the 13th, right? Because look, we already know that ESG Clean Energy is bankrupt. They're going through the bankruptcy proceedings. But what shareholders need to know is where will the tech go after the bankruptcy proceedings are finished? Will we still be able to use our license? Who's going to own it, right? And so just some information on that. On August 13, 2025, Viking, ESG, and Scootery. Scootery is the inventor of the carbon capture technology. Sign an amendment to an exclusive intellectual property license agreement, the agreement pursuant to which Scootery was added effective as such date as an additional licensor or grantor as applicable under the license agreement, and was vested with all future rights and obligations of ESG thereunder. And Scootery assumed all remaining duties, liabilities, and benefits of ESG under the license agreement to the same extent as ESG. Further, all general references to ESG in the license agreement are deemed to be read as ESG and Scootery, and all provisions containing obligations of ESG are deemed to be obligations of ESG and Scootery jointly, severally. So, I mean, essentially, Scootery, the inventor of the carbon capture technology and all these different patents, they weren't on our license agreement because we just had our license, right? He had the technology, we bought the license, but now with everything that's popping off, he's under our license for use now. What does that fully entail? Remains to be seen. We'll see how that plays out moving forward. But I think as a positive sign, at least, whatever happens with the bankruptcy proceedings with ESG Clean Energy, Camber Energy should still have access in use to the technology for our for Canada and the 25 locations in the US. That's how I'm deeming it right now. And so there's a lot of things in motion with the company. We know the testing went well for the waste management system in France. No updates currently since that. So, you know, we'll see how that all plays out with Camber Energy. Just a little bit of gematria going back to Viking Distribution. Viking Distribution Solutions equals 133. In reduction, with the parent rule, take off the 1 is 33. And CEIN spun off grid technology, 137, which is the 33rd prime, which essentially is what they're doing. They're spinning off the grid technology to its own subsidiary. And I guess that means they believe it's going to be able to stand on its own. And maybe one day it might be its own stock. I did have a vision one day that Simson-Maxwell be a publicly traded company. But obviously that's going to be up to TNT. That's not going to be up to Camber Energy moving forward. And so you see my position right here. My average share price is 52 cents. I'm down almost 96%. Obviously, I'm down almost 50K. I've been in it for a long time, reverse split, all that. And we're at 2 cents right now. So it's been a long road. But I mean, with these recent developments, you might see me add here shortly, especially with the dip in price. I also want to bring up that we're on OTC QB, which means we just have to keep a penny stock price. We can't go under a penny. So as long as we are over a penny, we're fine. And with the stock trading at 2 pennies right now, which is like 6.8 million market cap last time I checked. Say if we got cut in half, that's about 3-4 million. So where the company is right now, I really don't see them moving under a penny, because with our call and put option and our investment in Simson-Maxwell, that's our valuation, right? So I think we're safe there. And I think that's why I'm willing to add here in the near term, semi future. So that's all I have for CEIN Camber Energy today. Hopefully it was a little bit quicker, more concise, and hopefully you guys learned what's happening. Obviously, we're going to keep you guys updated all things Camber Energy moving forward. Make sure you look at my other videos, you like, subscribe. Make sure you go to the Camber Energy playlist on my channel so you can just get the history of the company.